I can't keep waiting 3 months between dividend payments. That's what my colleague David Huckabee muttered in 2023, staring at his empty brokerage account, watching another month slip by without dividends. Like many investors, he was frustrated watching his account go through long, dry spells between dividend payments, especially when bills kept increasing each month. After months of research and planning, he discovered something that changed everything. A way to structure his dividend portfolio that pays out every week. Not monthly, not quarterly, but weekly. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Here's what this looks like in real life. Week 1. You get your first dividend payment of $283. Week 2. Another $138 hits your account. Week 3. You're looking at an additional $138 coming in. Week 4. Another $139 lands in your account. And that's just in January. While other investors watch their accounts sit idle for months between payments, you collect dividend checks every single week. In the next few minutes, I'll break down a carefully researched portfolio that puts around $200 in dividend payments into your account every single week. This isn't speculation. I'll show you exactly 12 established companies to invest in, their actual dividend yields, the specific amount you can expect from each payment, and their precise payment schedules. Why is this strategy so urgent right now? Look around. The financial world isn't just getting scarier. It's becoming unrecognizable. Even by keeping our money in savings accounts, we're actually losing money. While banks are paying a measly 0.4% interest rate, inflation is running at 2.7%. That means every $10,000 in our savings account is silently losing hundreds of dollars in purchasing power every single year. The warning signs are everywhere. For the first time in history, the U.S. national debt has surged past $36 trillion. Major banks are crumbling. Tech giants are slashing thousands of jobs, and even a $120,000 salary in cities like Boston or Seattle barely covers basic necessities. Add in the global tensions, from Ukraine to the Middle East, and market uncertainty isn't just a phase. It's our new reality. In this kind of economy, can you really afford to wait 3 months between dividend payments? The truth is, having weekly dividend income isn't just about convenience anymore. It's about survival and adaptability in these increasingly uncertain times. This is where the strategy I'm about to show you becomes crucial. While each dividend company typically pays every 3 months, they don't all pay in the same months. Some pay in January, April, July, and October. Others pay in February, May, August, and November. By strategically picking companies with different payment schedules, we create a continuous stream of income that helps you handle unexpected expenses without touching your savings. Stay ahead of rising costs instead of playing catch-up. Reinvest more frequently to compound your wealth faster. Sleep better knowing you have cash coming in every week, not every quarter. The best part? Once you set this up correctly, it runs on autopilot. So how exactly do we build this weekly dividend machine? Let me break it down in a way that makes perfect sense. And pay close attention to this part. It's crucial for making the right stock selections later. We're going to pick companies from different industries. Some from healthcare, others from finance, real estate, and technology. Why? Because when one sector takes a hit, like tech stocks did in 2023, the others help keep your income steady. Think of it like planning your retirement savings. You wouldn't put all your money into a single type of investment, would you? Smart investors spread their money across different areas. Some in real estate, some in bonds, some in stocks. Our dividend portfolio works the same way, but diversification is just the first step. The real secret lies in choosing the right companies. Many investors get seduced by sky-high dividend yields, only to watch those dividends vanish when business conditions turn south. That's why we're looking for companies that have 3 critical qualities. They're your checklist for any dividend stock. A proven history of paying dividends through good times and bad. Strong, stable businesses that generate consistent cash flow. Most importantly, payment dates that fit perfectly into our weekly schedule. I spent months analyzing hundreds of stocks to find companies that check all these boxes. And what I discovered will probably surprise you. Some of the most reliable dividend payers aren't the flashy tech stocks everyone talks about. They're not Nvidia or Palantir. They're the steady, unsexy companies that have been quietly paying their shareholders for decades. In just a moment, I'll give you the names and ticker symbols of 12 of these. But first, you need to know exactly how I selected them. Because once you understand these criteria, you'll be able to spot great dividend stocks yourself. Imagine choosing someone to provide for your family every single week for the next 10 years. Every Friday, like clockwork, your loved ones are counting on that money to arrive. You'd want absolute certainty they won't let your family down, right? You'd check their track record, their stability, and their commitment to keeping their promises. That's exactly how we need to think about these dividend stocks. So how do we make sure these companies are worthy of your family's trust? After months of research, I've narrowed it down to 4 essential qualities. Think of these as your family's financial safety checklist. First, the 5-year test. Has the company paid consistent dividends for the last 5 years? No cuts, no suspensions, no excuses. Pause the video if you need to write this down. Second, the coverage rule. The company must earn at least 1.5 times more than what they pay in dividends. Think of it like someone making $6,000, but only spending around $3,200. That's sustainable. This is crucial because any company paying more than they earn is heading for trouble. Third, the growth check. Revenue should be growing year over year, because without growth, those dividend payments will eventually stop. I rejected dozens of stocks that failed this test alone. Fourth, the perfect timing. Payment dates must fit perfectly into our weekly payment strategy. No overlapping weeks and no long gaps. This was the toughest criterion to meet. Now that you know exactly what to look for, let me show you the 12 companies that passed all these tests with flying colors. First, we have VanEck BDC Income ETF, ticker BIZD. Right now, BIZD is paying a solid 10.61% yield. Here's what makes it perfect for our weekly strategy. They pay dividends 4 times a year, in January, April, July, and October, and they're incredibly consistent about paying in the first week of these months. Their latest dividend payment was 44 cents per share, and their next payment is coming up on April 5th, 2024. What really caught my attention with BIZD is how stable their payments have been. We're talking consistent payments between 45 and 46 cents per share throughout 2024. Next up, we have DHT Holdings, ticker DHT. DHT has a whopping dividend yield of 14.1%. They pay every quarter in February, May, August, and November, right in the first week. Their last dividend payment was 22 cents per share in November, and they're scheduled to pay again on February 26, 2025. This stock works perfectly with BIZD, handling our week 1 payments for different months. Moving to our next pick, we have CTO Realty Growth Inc., ticker CTO. CTO Realty is a commercial real estate investment trust that owns and operates retail properties and office buildings across high-growth markets in the United States. With a 7.72% dividend yield, they pay dividends in March, June, September, and December consistently in the first week. Their latest dividend was 38 cents per share, and they've set their next payment for March 31st, 2025. This fits perfectly into our strategy, covering week 1 payments in months where BIZD and DHT aren't paying. Notice how we're building a pattern here. Each stock handles different months, but all pay in week 1. Let's look at our next stock. At number 4, we have OneMain Holdings, ticker OMF. OMF offers a dividend yield of 7.87%. They dish out $1.04 per share every quarter in February, May, August, and November. Their next dividend is scheduled for February 24th, 2025. What makes OneMain special is they handle our week 2 payments perfectly complementing our week 1 stocks we just covered. Next up is Ares Capital Corporation, ticker ACC. ACC is one of the largest business development companies in America. They lend money to medium-sized businesses and collect interest. Think of them as a giant bank for growing companies. With an 8.66% yield and quarterly payments of 48 cents per share, they cover March, June, September, and December. Their next dividend is set for March 31st, 2025. This one handles week 2 payments in the months that OneMain doesn't cover. So we've now got both week 1 and week 2 completely locked in across all months. Then we have Bank of Montreal, ticker BMO. BMO is one of Canada's largest banks. They're offering a 4.58% yield, paying $1.59 per share, and they just announced a 2.6% increase in their dividend. They pay in January, April, July, and October, with their next payment scheduled for February 26, 2025. BMO brings some serious stability to our portfolio. We're talking about a bank with a $70.8 billion market cap that's been consistently paying dividends for over a century. Now we're adding pharmaceutical giant Pfizer to our portfolio, ticker PFE. With a market cap of $151 billion, they're offering a solid 6.47% yield and just announced a 2.4% dividend increase. They're paying 43 cents per share in March, June, September, and December. Their next payment is set for March 7th, 2025. Here's what's impressive. They've been increasing their dividends for 16 straight years. This healthcare powerhouse takes care of week 3 payments in their respective months. See how our weekly payment machine is taking shape. We've now secured reliable payments for weeks 1, 2, and 3. In just a moment, I'll show you how to set these stocks strategically for a $200 weekly cash payout. For now, let's round out our portfolio with our final picks. At number 8, we have Hercules Capital, ticker HDGC. Hercules Capital is a business development lender. They're paying a hefty 7.95% yield with a 40 cents dividend per share coming up on March 7th, 2025. Like Ares Capital, they specialize in lending but focus specifically on high-growth tech and life sciences companies. With a $3.31 billion market cap, they handle week 3 payments in February, May, August, and November, perfectly complementing Pfizer's schedule. Next up, we have Altria Group, ticker MO. Altria is an income powerhouse with some impressive numbers. 7.68% yield in 56 years. Yes, 56 years of consecutive dividend increases. This $89 billion consumer staples giant pays $1.02 per share, with their next dividend scheduled for April 30th, 2025. They handle week 3 payments in January, April, July, and October. Rounding out week 3, we've got Cogent Communications, ticker CSOI. This internet service provider offers a 5.26% yield and has been increasing dividends for 13 straight years. They're paying 99 cents per share, with the next payment due March 24th, 2025. With a $3.78 billion market cap, they take care of week 3 in months where MO isn't paying. For week 4, firstly we have New Lake Capital Partners, ticker NLCP. They offer an impressive 10.03% yield. They're a real estate company specializing in cannabis industry properties, paying 43 cents per share. Their next dividend is scheduled for April 15th, 2025. They handle week 4 payments in January, April, July, and October. Finally, we have HealthPeak Properties, ticker Peak. Peak is a $9.17 billion healthcare REIT yielding 7.02%. They pay 30 cents per share, with their next payment due May 17th, 2024. They own medical offices and life science buildings across America, covering week 4 payments in February, May, August, and November. Now that you know all 12 stocks, let me show you exactly how these 12 stocks work together. Take a look at Exhibit 1. I've mapped out when each stock pays throughout the year. See how week 1 stocks cover different months? When BISD isn't paying, CTO is. When CTO isn't paying, DHT is. The same pattern continues for weeks 2, 3, and 4. That's the beauty of the system. We're always covered. So, how do you set this up for a $200 weekly payout? Here's the straightforward answer. You will need $120,000 total, investing $10,000 in each stock. With bank interest rates so low and inflation eating away at savings, we need our money working harder for us. The good news? You don't have to buy everything at once. Look at Exhibit 1 again. Start with whichever stock is paying next. Then gradually build your positions as your budget allows. Here's the simple math behind how this portfolio generates weekly income. For any dividend stock, your annual dividend income is calculated as investment amount times dividend yield equals annual dividend income. For example, when you put $10,000 into BIZD with its 10.61% yield, $10,000 times 0.1061 equals $1,061 annually. Using the same formula for all 12 stocks will look something like this. The highest paying stocks are BIZD with an annual payout of $1,061, DHT with $1,410, and New Lake with $1,003. Add these up and you get $9,795 in annual dividend income. Now, here's where the weekly payments come in. $9,795 divided by 12 months equals $816 monthly, or $9,795 divided by 48 weeks equals $204 weekly. Look at Exhibit 4. You can see exactly how these payments spread across your calendar, creating a steady stream of weekly income. The best part? Many of these companies have histories of increasing their dividends, so your weekly paycheck can actually grow over time. If you're serious about building weekly dividend income, bookmark this video. You'll want to reference these stocks and payment schedules as you build your portfolio. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.